Envy and falsehood are like silent storms, disrupting your peace and clarity. In Stoicism, we're taught to rise above these emotions that can cloud our judgment and peace of mind. By recognizing envy and dishonesty in others, you reclaim control over your emotions and focus on what truly matters, your own growth. Stick with us as we uncover how Stoic wisdom empowers you to stay unshaken in a world full of deception and comparison. In this video, we'll explore 10 powerful ways to identify envy and falsehood in others. From recognizing backhanded compliments and constant comparisons to spotting contradictions in words and actions, we'll dive deep into the Stoic approach to dealing with negativity. Plus, we'll share how to stay true to your own values, maintain peace, and rise above toxic influences in your life. ****. 1. The Stoic view on envy and falsehood. Building upon the importance of recognizing envy and falsehood, let's dive into how Stoicism views these destructive emotions. In a world filled with constant comparison and deception, the Stoic mindset offers a powerful way to navigate these challenges. According to Stoic philosophy, envy and falsehood not only disturb our peace but also prevent us from living a virtuous life. The nature of envy and falsehood. Envy, in Stoic terms, is the feeling of dissatisfaction or bitterness toward others' success, wealth, or happiness. It's a natural human emotion, but Stoics teach that it should be controlled. Envy arises when we compare ourselves to others, measuring our worth based on what others have or achieve. The Stoic response? Shift focus inward and evaluate your own progress. True fulfillment comes from within, not from comparing your life to others. Falsehood, on the other hand, is the deliberate attempt to mislead or deceive. Stoicism encourages honesty and integrity as key virtues. A person who is false in their words or actions is seen as misaligned with their true nature. By distorting reality, they stray from their authentic self, which, according to Stoics, leads to inner turmoil. Stoicism teaches that those who embrace the truth, regardless of how uncomfortable it may be, will lead lives of greater peace and purpose. How envy and falsehood affect our peace. Both envy and falsehood have the potential to disrupt our inner tranquility. Envy forces us to constantly measure our self-worth against others, leading to frustration and dissatisfaction. This kind of thinking can create a cycle of negativity, where we're never content with what we have, always looking at what someone else has achieved or possesses. Falsehood, however, harms not only the person being deceived but also the one who is lying. A Stoic believes that living truthfully is not just about others, but about maintaining peace within ourselves. When we lie or live deceitfully, we fracture our integrity. And as Marcus Aurelius wisely said, if someone does wrong, it is not wrong to ignore their actions. In other words, don't let the falsehoods of others affect your peace of mind. The Stoic solution. Focus on what you can control. The core Stoic teaching is to focus on what we can control, and that's ourselves. You cannot control others' envy or deceitful behavior, but you can control your response. When faced with envy, a Stoic seeks to practice gratitude for their own circumstances, remembering that the pursuit of virtue is the true goal. When encountering falsehood, a Stoic remains true to their own values, choosing honesty and integrity over deception. Rather than reacting emotionally to these negative traits in others, Stoicism teaches us to rise above them. By practicing self-awareness, we detach ourselves from the opinions of others and the envy they may harbor. We choose to act from a place of inner peace, unaffected by the negativity of the world around us. 2. Lack of genuine compliments. Building on how Stoicism teaches us to focus on our own growth and not be influenced by envy or falsehood, let's take a closer look at one of the most common ways envy reveals itself: the lack of genuine compliments. Have you ever received a compliment that felt more like a backhanded jab than a kind word? Or perhaps someone praised your achievement but quickly followed it with a subtle criticism. These interactions are often a manifestation of envy. A person who feels threatened by your success might try to downplay your achievements or offer compliments that feel insincere. But how can you tell when compliments are truly genuine and when they're veiled in jealousy? The hidden envy behind compliments. Envy doesn't always look like outright hostility. Sometimes it's hidden beneath seemingly kind words. When someone is envious, they might try to offer praise to mask their discomfort, but there's often a subtle undercurrent of negativity. For example, they might say something like, "Wow, you've done so well for someone with no experience." Or, "I could never pull that off, but I'm glad you did." At first glance, These statements might seem harmless, even supportive. However, the underlying message is different. These compliments highlight a perceived gap between your success and their own, leaving a sting of condescension. Stoics teach us to pay attention to this subtle behavior and recognize it for what it is. Envy doesn't show up as overt hostility all the time. It can show up in moments like these, wrapped in a seemingly positive package. By staying true to your own worth and not getting swayed by these backhanded compliments, you remain grounded in your virtue and purpose. Stoic wisdom. Gratitude and self-focus. So, how should you respond when faced with these kinds of compliments? The Stoic approach is simple. Remain focused on your own journey. A Stoic doesn't seek validation from others. We're taught that the approval or disapproval of others has no power over our inner peace. Rather than reacting emotionally to insincere compliments, we practice gratitude for our own progress. By acknowledging our growth internally, we give ourselves the recognition we deserve. In his teachings, Epictetus reminds us that what upsets people is not things themselves, but their judgments about these things. When you encounter an envious compliment, instead of allowing it to shake your self-esteem, remind yourself that the judgment of others is outside your control. Your accomplishments are valid, and your worth isn't determined by how others perceive you. How to spot insincere compliments. While not every compliment is an attempt to disguise envy, there are a few telltale signs you can look for. One is inconsistency. When someone praises you but quickly follows up with criticism or a comparison. Another clue is the tone or delivery. Does it feel awkward, like they're trying too hard to sound positive? Genuine compliments come from a place of authenticity, not competition or resentment. Another sign to watch for is the frequency of compliments. An envious person may shower you with praise when you're doing well, but just as quickly withdraw it or become dismissive when you face setbacks. The Stoic response to this is clear. Value your own progress and remember that external praise is fleeting. It's your internal growth and alignment with your values that matter most. The power of Stoic detachment. By practicing detachment, one of the core Stoic principles, you can rise above the need for validation from others. You don't need to convince anyone of your worth or seek their approval. Acknowledge the compliment, but don't let it define you. By focusing on your journey and maintaining humility, you can navigate the subtle signs of envy and falsehood without being dragged into negativity. 3. The subtle art of comparison. When others constantly compare you. Following on from recognizing insincere compliments, another red flag for envy and falsehood lies in the subtle art of comparison. If you've ever been in a conversation where someone continually compares you to others, whether it's about your career, your achievements, or your lifestyle, chances are they're subtly trying to diminish your worth. This constant need to compare is rooted in envy and can be incredibly draining. But how can you spot it, and more importantly, how can you respond without losing your peace? The toxic power of comparisons. At its core, comparison is the thief of joy. In the world of Stoicism, the idea is simple. You should only compare yourself to your former self, not to others. However, some people, often unconsciously, can't help but measure you against someone else. Whether it's a sibling, coworker, or a friend, they may say things like, "You're doing well, but have you seen how much more success so-and-so has?" Or, "Why don't you take that vacation like, name?" They do it every year. While these comparisons might seem innocent, they're often rooted in envy, trying to make you feel as though you're not doing enough or are somehow lacking. This constant comparison doesn't just belittle your achievements. It can make you feel like you're always falling short, even when you're making progress. The Stoic way. Focusing on your own journey. In Stoicism, the focus is always inward. A Stoic sees comparisons as distractions, unnecessary judgments that prevent you from living your best life. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." If your mind is consumed with comparisons, you'll never find true satisfaction, no matter what you achieve. When you're constantly compared to others, it's important to pause and remind yourself that your journey is unique. Your progress is not defined by someone else's timeline or accomplishments. Acknowledge your growth, no matter how small it may seem, and be grateful for where you are. Just because others might be moving at a faster pace doesn't mean you're falling behind. Stoicism teaches that as long as you're improving each day, you are on the right path. Recognizing the subtle comparison game. Comparison can often be disguised as friendly advice or even praise. Someone might tell you, "You're doing great, but if only you could be more like someone else." While this may seem like a positive statement at first, it's actually undermining your individual progress. The key to spotting this kind of envy is paying attention to how you feel afterward. Do you feel diminished or like you need to do more? If so, you've encountered an envious comparison. Another subtle form of comparison is when others minimize your accomplishments to elevate someone else's. "You're lucky to be where you are, but so-and-so did that in half the time." It can be easy to fall into the trap of questioning your own success, but remember, your path and your timeline are yours alone. How to respond with Stoic wisdom. The Stoic response to constant comparisons is to focus solely on what you can control: your own thoughts, actions, and reactions. You cannot control how others see you or how they choose to compare you to others. However, you can control how you perceive yourself and what you choose to value. When someone compares you to another person, you can smile and graciously accept the compliment, but avoid getting tangled in the competition. Acknowledge that everyone is on their own journey and stay focused on your own goals. If the comparison feels like a slight or diminishes your worth, remember that it's more about the other person's insecurities than it is about your achievements. The freedom of non-comparison. Living without comparison brings true freedom. When you detach yourself from the need to measure your success against others, you gain the freedom to define success on your own terms. By choosing to stay focused on your growth, your journey becomes more authentic, and your achievements, no matter how big or small, become more fulfilling. 4. Manipulative behavior. When words don't match actions. Building on the concept of comparisons, another common sign of envy and falsehood is manipulative behavior. This can often go unnoticed, as the words may sound kind and supportive, but the actions tell a different story. Manipulation doesn't always come in the form of aggressive control. It's often subtle and disguised as concern or help. But how do you recognize it, and more importantly, how can you protect yourself from its effects? The fine line between help and manipulation. Have you ever encountered someone who seems overly helpful, offering advice or support, but it always comes with strings attached? Maybe they're always around when you're doing well, but suddenly disappear when you need real help. Or they may make you feel guilty for not accepting their assistance, claiming it's for your own good. At first, these actions may appear generous, but when you look closer, you'll see the manipulation underneath. This is a common tactic used by those who feel envious. They want to appear helpful, but their true intentions are often to control or undermine you in some way. Stoicism teaches us to recognize these behaviors and respond with clarity and inner strength. The Stoic approach is to never let anyone else's actions dictate our emotions or sense of worth. Recognizing when someone is being manipulative allows us to detach emotionally and prevent the harmful impact of their behavior. Signs of manipulative behavior. Manipulative people often mask their intentions behind charm or faux concern. They might flatter you excessively, only to later expect favors in return. For instance, someone may tell you, "You're doing so great, I just wish I could help you more." But when you need actual support, they conveniently disappear, leaving you feeling alone or guilty for asking. They might say one thing, but their actions show otherwise. Perhaps they downplay your achievements to others or undermine your progress behind your back. Another key sign of manipulation is the guilt trip. Manipulative individuals can make you feel responsible for their emotions or needs, often with comments like, "I did all this for you, and this is how you repay me." They create a sense of indebtedness, making it difficult for you to set boundaries or say no. This emotional manipulation is often rooted in envy, as they try to control or diminish your independence to make themselves feel more secure. Stoic wisdom. Recognizing manipulation with calm detachment. In Stoicism, one of the key tenets is the practice of detachment, removing ourselves from the emotional grip that others may try to impose. The Stoic response to manipulative behavior is to remain centered and not let the manipulation affect our emotions or actions. By recognizing the true intent behind someone's behavior, we prevent ourselves from becoming emotionally entangled in their games. A powerful Stoic reminder comes from Marcus Aurelius. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Instead of engaging with manipulative behavior, Stoics are encouraged to focus on their own virtues, acting with integrity, kindness, and wisdom. When you stay true to your values, you can rise above the toxic influence of others, making your own choices based on your principles, not their manipulative tactics. How to respond to manipulative behavior. The first step in dealing with manipulation is to recognize it. Trust your instincts. If something feels off or if someone's actions don't align with their words, there's likely manipulation at play. When you encounter manipulative behavior, it's important to set firm boundaries. If someone is being overly helpful to the point of causing discomfort, don't be afraid to say no. Protect your peace and your personal space. Also, remain calm and assertive. If you feel pressured or coerced into doing something you don't want to do, politely but firmly express your position. Stoicism encourages us to be clear and direct, without allowing our emotions to be swayed. This doesn't mean being rude or dismissive. Rather, it's about maintaining clarity and protecting your mental peace. The power of self-awareness and inner strength. The most powerful defense against manipulation is self-awareness. When you're aware of your own emotions and boundaries, you can see through manipulative behavior with ease. You no longer allow others to dictate your feelings or actions. This strength comes from within, and it's a direct result of Stoic practice. By focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and reactions, and letting go of what you can't, you empower yourself to handle manipulative people with grace and poise. 5. Gaslighting. The subtle art of self-doubt. Building on the idea of manipulation, another form of toxic behavior that is often used to mask envy and falsehood is gaslighting. This psychological tactic is designed to make you question your own reality and perception. It's insidious and can be incredibly damaging, leaving you feeling confused, insecure, and self-doubting. In this section, we'll explore how gaslighting works, how to recognize it, and how Stoicism can help you regain your sense of clarity and self-trust. What is gaslighting? Gaslighting is a form of manipulation where someone intentionally distorts or denies reality to make you question your own thoughts, memories, or perceptions. The term comes from the 1944 film Gaslight, where a man manipulates his wife into thinking she's losing her sanity by dimming the gaslights and insisting she's imagining it. The gaslighter often tells the victim that they're overreacting or being too sensitive, making them doubt their own experiences. It's important to note that gaslighting isn't always overt. It can be subtle, creeping into everyday conversations in a way that makes you feel like you're the one who's wrong or irrational. The person using this tactic may deny things they've said, change the subject when confronted, or accuse you of misunderstanding situations. Over time, this behavior can make you second-guess yourself and question your reality, leading to confusion, anxiety, and a loss of self-esteem. Recognizing gaslighting can be tricky because it often happens incrementally. However, there are some clear signs that you might be dealing with a gaslighter. 1. Constant denial. A gaslighter will repeatedly deny things that are obviously true, causing you to doubt your own memory. If they deny having said something, or act like an event never happened, it can leave you questioning your perception. 2. Making you feel insane. If someone frequently tells you that you're overreacting or too emotional, it may be a red flag. Gaslighters are skilled at making their targets feel like they're losing control of their emotions. 3. Shifting blame. Instead of owning up to their behavior, gaslighters often deflect blame onto others. If something goes wrong, they might accuse you of causing the problem or make you feel responsible for things that aren't your fault. 4. Inconsistent behavior. Gaslighters will often say one thing and do another, creating confusion. They may act loving and supportive one moment, then distant or hurtful the next, leaving you wondering where you stand. How gaslighting ties to envy and falsehood. At its core, gaslighting is often rooted in a person's envy or desire to control another. A gaslighter seeks to undermine your confidence and self-worth, often because they feel insecure or threatened by your success. In relationships, whether personal or professional, envy can drive people to try and destabilize your perception of reality to keep you from feeling empowered or grounded. The falsehood in gaslighting lies in the fact that it deliberately distorts the truth to create doubt. This is where Stoicism offers a valuable tool for recognizing and combating gaslighting. By cultivating mental resilience and a strong sense of self-awareness, Stoics can maintain clarity in the face of this subtle manipulation. Instead of reacting emotionally to the gaslighter's tactics, Stoics focus on controlling their responses and staying rooted in their own principles. How Stoicism helps in dealing with gaslighting. Stoicism teaches us to differentiate between what we can control and what we cannot. Gaslighting falls into the category of things outside our control, how someone behaves or how they manipulate us. What we can control is how we respond. When faced with gaslighting, a Stoic approach involves not allowing the manipulator to sway your beliefs or emotions. Instead, you focus on observing the situation with detachment, acknowledging that the problem lies with the gaslighter, not with you. One Stoic principle that helps in this situation is the practice of premeditatio malorum, or premeditation of evils. By preparing ourselves for negative experiences, we can develop the emotional strength to handle them when they arise. If you expect the gaslighter to try to undermine you, you're less likely to be caught off guard or let their behavior affect you deeply. Another powerful Stoic concept is ataraxia, or inner peace. By practicing mindfulness and reflection, you can maintain a calm, clear mind in the face of external chaos. Even when someone is trying to twist your reality, your grounded sense of self will allow you to see through their tactics and stay true to your understanding. Taking action against gaslighting. The first step to dealing with gaslighting is recognizing it for what it is. Once you've identified the behavior, set firm boundaries with the person involved. If they continue to deny reality or make you feel crazy, calmly and assertively express that their actions are not acceptable. In some cases, it may be necessary to distance yourself from the individual or remove them from your life entirely. Another important step is to document your experiences. Keeping a journal of events and conversations can help you track patterns and clarify your own thoughts when the gaslighter tries to distort reality. This not only helps you regain clarity but also provides a record to refer back to when you're feeling confused or uncertain. 6. The power of projection. How others use your strengths against you. Following up on how gaslighting manipulates your perception, let's delve into another cunning tactic: projection. Projection is a psychological defense mechanism in which individuals attribute their own negative feelings, desires, or flaws to others. In this section, we will explore how projection can be used to mask envy and falsehood, and how you can protect yourself using Stoic wisdom. What is projection? Projection occurs when someone attributes their own negative traits or emotions to someone else. For example, a person who feels insecure about their intelligence might accuse others of being stupid or ignorant. Projection can range from small remarks to full-blown accusations, and it often stems from the individual's inability or unwillingness to accept their own shortcomings. When it comes to envy and falsehood, projection is often used as a shield. Someone who is envious of your success or achievements may project their feelings of inadequacy onto you, accusing you of being arrogant, selfish, or undeserving. This tactic is designed to shift the focus away from their own feelings of jealousy and make you feel guilty or defensive about your accomplishments. Recognizing projection. The key to recognizing projection is understanding the behavior of the person projecting. They will often accuse you of the very things they are guilty of themselves. Here are a few ways to spot it. 1. Accusations that don't fit. If someone is quick to accuse you of being selfish, ungrateful, or manipulative without clear evidence, it may be a sign of projection. These accusations often reflect their own inner guilt or discomfort with their actions. 2. Shifting blame. Projection is frequently used as a way to avoid taking responsibility. If someone consistently blames others for their own shortcomings or mistakes, it's likely that they are projecting their insecurities onto you. 3. Emotional overreaction. People who project often react with intense emotions to situations that don't warrant such responses. They may accuse you of being untrustworthy or disloyal when you haven't done anything wrong. These reactions are more about their own fears and vulnerabilities than your actions. 4. Constant criticism. If someone consistently criticizes you or others, especially in ways that seem out of proportion, it could be a sign that they are projecting their own self-criticism or shame onto you. The envy behind projection. At its core, projection is often rooted in envy. The person projecting their insecurities onto you may feel threatened by your success, talent, or happiness. Instead of confronting their own feelings of inadequacy, they shift the blame onto you, making you feel as though you're the one with the problem. This allows them to maintain their sense of superiority or self-righteousness, while keeping their feelings of jealousy or envy at bay. Projection can also be a way for people to protect their false narratives. If someone has convinced themselves that they are better than others, projecting their flaws onto you helps them reinforce this image of perfection. By accusing you of behaviors they themselves are guilty of, they avoid facing their own internal contradictions and vulnerabilities. Stoicism's role in countering projection. Stoicism offers several principles that help us navigate projection and its manipulative effects. The key is to remain grounded in your own truth and not get swept up by false accusations or emotions. Here's how Stoic teachings can help. 1. Focus on what you can control. Projection is an external force, and like all external forces, it's beyond your control. Instead of reacting emotionally or defensively, focus on your own actions and character. You can't control others' projections, but you can control how you respond to them. 2. Practice emotional detachment. Stoics believe in apatheia, the state of being unaffected by external events or emotions. By practicing emotional detachment, you can observe projection without internalizing it. When someone projects their insecurities onto you, view it as a reflection of their own struggles, not a reflection of your worth. 3. Use rational thinking. When faced with accusations or projections, take a step back and use reason to analyze the situation. Ask yourself, is this accusation true? Is it a reflection of my actions? Or is it more about the other person's insecurities? Rational thinking helps you see past the emotional manipulation and stay grounded in reality. 4. Remember your own values. Projection often targets your character or actions, trying to undermine your confidence. By staying rooted in your own values and principles, you can remain strong against the false narratives others try to create about you. If you're living in alignment with your values, you don't need to justify yourself to anyone. 5. Respond with compassion. While Stoicism teaches us to maintain emotional distance, it doesn't mean we should respond with cruelty or anger. Instead, respond with empathy. Understand that those projecting their insecurities are struggling with their own issues. Responding with calmness and understanding can disarm them and protect your peace. How to protect yourself from projection. When dealing with projection, the most important thing is not to internalize the false narratives being cast onto you. Recognize that these projections are more about the person projecting them than about you. You don't have to absorb their negativity or let their insecurities shape your perception of yourself. Set clear boundaries with those who use projection as a tactic, and if necessary, distance yourself from them. Surround yourself with people who uplift and support you, rather than those who seek to tear you down. In time, you'll become more adept at recognizing projection, and you'll be able to protect your mental and emotional well-being. If you found this video helpful and it's giving you fresh perspectives on Stoicism and how to recognize and handle manipulation, don't forget to like the video. Your support truly matters and helps us bring more valuable content just like this one. Leave a comment below and let us know your thoughts, whether it's your personal experience or just something you'd like to share about Stoicism. We absolutely love hearing from you and engaging in meaningful conversations. And hey, if you're enjoying this content, don't miss out on our other videos packed with life-changing wisdom, tips, and insights. Hit the subscribe button so you never miss out on the next big lesson. Stay tuned and remember, you've got the power to stay calm, collected, and in control. See you in the next video. Flexed biceps sparkles.